For today's cup of coffee, youngest kid has the night off. He had a root canal today, so yeah, we'll cut him a little slack on that one. The story that we have today comes from a website called The Proud Italian, and this is the legend of La BeFana, the Witch of Christmas. And the figure of Father Christmas with a red suit and hat, white beard, and a bag full of presents, and sleigh with reindeers is famous all over the world. In Italy, children eagerly wait for a visit from another figure known in their culture as La BeFana, a shabby old lady, but good-hearted and hard-working, and she's loved so much by the children, and this is a woman also known as the Italian Christmas Witch. La BeFana is a very friendly and amiable Italian witch who rides around on a broomstick. She often smiles and carries a sack full of candies and gifts. In Italian folklore, La BeFana presents presents to good children on the morning of Epiphany, which is January the 6th. Now, there are two legends about the origin of La BeFana, and the first one is about the three wise men, also known as the Magi, who stopped at her house to ask about the road to Bethlehem. And they asked her to accompany them, but she declined. She stayed at home to finish the cleaning and promised that she would catch up with them. But by the time that she finished her chores, they had gone too far away. She began running after them with presents for the baby Jesus, still carrying her broom in hand. And somehow she began to fly on the broomstick, but she still couldn't find the wise men. Since then, the story about the Epiphany feast started. The second legend dates back during the reign of King Herod. This one is it's not really a happy story. And King Herod, of course, ordered the execution of each male child that had been born in the year of Christ's birth. And one lady just couldn't bear the loss of her child and tried to convince herself that her boy was not killed, but lost. And she wrapped up all of the child's belongings and started searching from house to house. And finally, she came upon a child. And convinced that she had found her lost son, she placed all of her son's belongings next to the crib where the baby lay. And the child's father looked at the stranger bearing presents to his child and had to wonder about her past. Now, the Feast of Epiphany, again, that starts on January the 6th, and it goes for 12 days after Christmas. So it's traditionally the time when people give honor to the three wise men who visited Christ at his birthplace. And Epiphany celebrations vary around Italy. In some regions, people burn a bonfire with a figure of La BeFana on top. And in southern Italy, they dress up in black with big bushy beards, parading on the streets with lanterns, knocking from one door to another and asking for food. Not sure what is with the begging for the foods on different people's. And then in the Le Marche region, the celebration lasts 4 days from January the 2nd through the 6th. And this is where children can meet La BeFana in the La Casa della BeFana. In Venice, on the 6th of January, men dressed as La BeFana have boat racing down the Grand Canal. And in the region of Tuscany, since early in the morning, horns and drums fill the street and people march down the streets. And of course, the biggest bonfire ceremony takes place in Taranto. And that starts on the evening of January the 6th, and the bonfire is lit near the ruins of a medieval castle. That would be something that would be amazing to be able to take part of. And this holiday marks the end of Christmas and the New Year's feast, which means that the children have to go back to school, adults have to go back to work, and the Christmas spirit comes down. And I'd say that whoever wrote this, they probably meant like the Christmas decorations. And many people do believe in the existence of La Befana, while others believe it is an interesting story that was created for children. And there is a children's song that is chanted in her honor, which is La Befana comes at night in tattered shoes, dressed in Roman style. Long live La Befana. She brings cinders and coals to the naughty children. To the good children, she brings sweets and lots of gifts. So I thought that was just a really cool legend. I'm enjoying researching the different, different countries' Christmas peculiarities, if you want to call it that. I think it's uniqueness, because that is something to be experienced and celebrated, things that I never knew existed. While I get the opportunity to research these things, I learned just a vast amount of stuff. So we've got some other interesting things coming up in the next week or so, because today at the time of this recording, it is the 17th. And of course, Christmas is on the 25th. Yule/winter solstice will be on the 21st. So everything that sort of clusters together at this time of year, and that's okay, because it gives us something to look forward to. Sometimes it gives us something to be grateful when it's over, and looking forward to a little bit of rest after all the holidays. So anyhow, if you've had experiences with supernatural and paranormal encounters with UFOs, aliens, cryptids, La Befana, if you have local, regional family myths, legends, what have you, if you've had experiences with substances that would be interesting, like DMT or anything like that, send me an email at cupofcoffeewithscream@gmail.com. And thank you very much for joining us, having coffee with me today. Prayers for youngest kid, because a root canal, God love him, he was in there for about 2.5 hours. And most people have like 4 roots on their molars. He had 5. It's like, he's an overachiever, isn't he? So he's going to probably take a day or two to recover. And prayers are always appreciated. You all have a beautiful, blessed day, and we'll see you on the next cup. Bye.